This is Nate Hess, and I'm interviewing Lloyd, a Korean War veteran. And I'm going to ask him some questions here today about his time in the Korean War. So, Lloyd, what was your organization, the detail, the unit you served in?
All right, I was in the Navy Air Force,
Okay.
and I was in two different organizations, both of them very small. The first one was at Moffett Field, California, and it was called it had just two planes. They were called Constitution, and we flew just across country, and it was a double-decker plane.
Okay.
I was there for, I guess, close to a year, and then I was transferred to overseas.
Right.
And my home base was at Atsuki, Japan, but I went to a detached, and I was in what they call the COD unit, Carrier Onboard Delivery.
Okay.
And we flew to the carriers, taking priority men and cargo. And from there, we transferred, the whole unit transferred to Korea. So we were in the southern part of Korea. And we flew, continued to fly to the carriers.
Right.
Our carriers as well as the English carriers.
Going into the war, what did they tell you guys was the objective going into Korea? What was your mission?
Well, just basically what I told you was our mission.
Right.
Was to take priority equipment to the ships, priority passengers. We took the admiral, sometimes the general would go out even though they were in the army, they'd go out to a Navy ship to correspond with the people on the ship.
Right. Did you think we needed to be in Korea at the time? Did you think, was it just
apparently, I didn't question it.
Right. Just did your job?
Yeah.
I hear you.
I was the last of 5 brothers to go in. And
Wow.
we had one brother that, because of the condition, he had broken his shoulder in an accident and had a silver plate, and they wouldn't take him. Otherwise, it'd been 6 for 6.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't question why we were there. I just
right. Looking back on it now that it's been a long period of time, do you think we were justified going into Korea?
I think so.
Right.
I think I'm not sure that we completed what the mission was, but then it wasn't for me to say.
Right. Did you think, like, the entire Korean Peninsula, would that have been the completion of the mission if y'all could have freed the North from communism too?
Well, at that time, I think so.
Right.
But they settled for the
parallel, 38 parallel. Oh, I understand. Can you give us some details about the training and missions you went through?
Well, the training I went through was I was aviation mechanic.
Right.
And a crewman. On the planes we flew, they were TBMs, torpedo bombers converted, and they had what we call tubs underneath. That's what we carried our cargo in.
Right.
And then we could take 2 passengers.
Right.
But then I was a mechanic on the engines too.
Right.
So
I got you. So
that was my duty as well as
right.
being a crewman.
So like a typical mission, how did it go? Like you just pick up cargo and
Yeah, they take the cargo and then we generally always go in pairs.
Right.
2 planes together.
Right.
And they treated us when we got aboard ship just like we were somebody. I mean, just like we were an officer.
So what branch would you have been? Would you have been Air Force or Navy?
I was in Navy Air Force.
Navy Air Force.
Yeah.
Got you. How would you say your military service has impacted your perspective after you got back to civilian life?
Well, I think it gives you a different outlook on the importance of things that in life in general.
Right.
And the experience of the travel and all it's just unbelievable.
If you could go back, would you do it again?
Under the same circumstances, I probably would, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I never regretted any of it.
Would you say like most of your experiences in the war, were they positive? Was there any
Positive,
regrets?
yes.
Absolutely positive.
Very positive.
Any regrets you had?
No, none.
Right. How would you say your faith, your Christian faith, has affected like how you went about your missions in the war?
Well, I was fortunate to be brought up in the Baptist church and from a child, and my faith was strong. And always, I never had doubts. I never feared of what might happen.
Right. So when you went into war, were you afraid at all? Or?
No. I just never thought about anything bad happening.
Right.
We went on one mission. We went to the island of Yodo, which is way up in North Korea.
Right.
And we landed there, and then they started firing on us,
Right.
on our planes.
Right.
And I may hold a record there. I might mention this. There was a ditch probably as wide as this room at least.
Right.
And I cleared that in one leap.
Wow.
And they had a bunker on the side of the hill that we could go in,
Right.
so that the artillery wouldn't get us. But I didn't fear that. I just ran.
No, I hear you. I
mean, you do what you need to do.
Right. I would say faith helps you.
Oh,
Strengthens
yes.
you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
When you're in combat or in a military zone, I don't know. I feel like you're on the edge because you don't know what could happen. You know?
That's true.
And anything could happen. You could die. Like, I mean, it's scary. Like, if somebody doesn't know Jesus Christ going into combat, I feel like that could be scary. And like,
Well, and you'd be surprised the number that may go in
right.
not believing and come out believing.
Right.
Because of learning what can happen.
Right. Could you pause that?